You're listening to the Spicy Dividend. What is up, everyone? It is episode 27. Today is March 18th, 2020. Man, oh man, every single day. There's just so much going on. In terms of market and investing, you could talk about so many different points right now. So as I'm recording this at 3 o'clock in Pennsylvania, it is absolutely gorgeous outside. Completely ironic considering how bad the market is doing today. And, I say how bad it's doing today, but this is pretty much normal given the context of the past 2 weeks. So as I'm recording this, the S&P 500 is down 8.7%. We had another trading halt today. So obviously very ugly today. And at this point, why shouldn't there be more ugly days ahead of us? It's just the truth. I mean, there's not much to signal that this thing could turn around. If you're going for any glimpse of optimism, I guess you would look at China's markets and to show that they're the top performing markets when they were horrible a month ago. But, they're a little bit more post-corona epidemic than we are right now in the United States. We're at peak hysteria, peak fear right now in America. China is past that point. They've leveled off the cases significantly. That curve has flattened quite a bit. They've done their measures. It's the United States now doing their measures. The Chinese markets have since, recovered a little bit from their lows. Obviously, they're doing better than the rest of the world, who is at this point pretty much freaking out. All of Europe and all of the United States, soon to be Canada and North America. Canada's been hit pretty hard too, but it's going to hit all of North America. Mexico's, considering closing down their borders. Anyone and everything is affected at this point. I mean, personally, this is just depressing. I'm working from home. I hate working from home. I can't even put sports on in the background. This is terrible. I mean, this is eons worse than a financial crisis only. Excuse me a sec. A financial crisis only, yeah, you're worried about money, but you can still go out and get drunk if you're worried and having a bad time. Now you just got to sit on your ass at home and do absolutely nothing and watch nothing interesting. I'm saying that from a sports fan because I just like turning sports on. And at the very least, we're getting some football trades, but that's the extent of it. And you have all these theoreticals, but no action. And it's horrible. It really is horrible. Let's get into some points here. So the Russell 2000, which is just a component of a lot of small cap stocks, they have lost 5 years of gains. The levels that they're trading at right now, I'm looking at the index right now, the Russell 2000 is trading at a total of 986.61, under 1,000. This is the first time it's been under 1,000 since 2013. Now, that's including the lowest point roughly 4 years ago, but you lost 5 years of gains if you're investing in small cap companies. Just like that, in a matter of a month. It's scary. This is why a health crisis is much more severe than just a financial crisis, because it leads into a financial crisis. And you also there is so much insecurity going around in people's minds because you have both the mental and physical health aspect along with financial worries. So these huge drops in the market, they're not unjustified, and there's no reason that we shouldn't drop more. There's more bad news to come. And you might see you're going to see bad news. It's just a matter of how the market digests it tomorrow when there's labor data coming out. I mean, you could really see the extent of the bad boy. And, I saw Munchkin mention that, if the United States didn't take any action, you could see unemployment upwards of 20%. I mean, 20% unemployment, you're talking another Great Depression. Seriously, I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. I'm not exaggerating here. You have employment of 20+%, the economy's in the shit. And that's when you got to start worrying about things like hyperinflation. I mean, we're already, as a nation, the United States, in a humongous amount of debt, and now we're just doing all this stimulus shit. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, we're seriously in some scary times. We really are. like I said before, if you want to look at the positive way, the best case scenario is to look at a country like China, and they have recovered since peaking. But, for right now, it's doom and gloom. There's a lot of major banks and major analysts anticipating a 10 to 15% decline in GDP. This is scary. I mean, once you reach that 10%, you're officially in a recession. I mean, the official recession definition has to do with GDP and GDP only, but you can pretty much say we're in a recession just from people like to throw out the term, whether they mean it literally or just, essentially, here's what we are. We're in a recession. I mean, that's bottom line of the story. We're going to be in a bear market for a long time. It's going to be very brutal to recover. And let me just say, this portion of the podcast is going to get a little spicy, okay? The reason the United States is getting a little bit more bushwhacked than other countries are because of these companies that blow their fucking load on share buybacks. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And nothing is ever going to get learned from this situation. Nothing's going to get learned. Now, I greatly respect Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, entrepreneur on Shark Tank. And he's pretty much saying you should pretty much ban share buybacks if you get any aid from the government. I full-heartedly agree. I mean, it's bullshit. It really is. A lot of people like to complain about CEO salaries, and I don't have any complaints about salaries at all. Seriously, if you're the chief executive officer of a multi-billion-dollar company and they pay you $5 million a year, I don't care. You deserve that, quite frankly, to be honest. $5 million is not that much for how much responsibility you are taking on. However, when you start factoring in stock options, well, then the greedy are just going to get even more greedy, and you just see companies pouring money into useless, and I mean useless, share buybacks to do nothing but manipulate the price. That's it. There is literally no purpose of share buybacks except for the manipulation of the price. It's so that their options can go in the money and they can sell out. And guess what? When shit hits the fan like it is now, they're just going to lower the option price that they can declare before they can cash out. So it doesn't even fucking matter. Buybacks are bullshit. And I know if you're a growth stock investor, it's kind of, I'm speaking heresy here, going a little against the Bible, but you're telling me that there is any reason a company should ever buy back its own shares. You can't use the billions of dollars that you're using to buy back shares to, maybe benefit your own company, or hey, how about this? So you actually have enough cash on hand to deal with bullshit that we're dealing with right now. It's ridiculous. And I know I bought some today, but a company like Penn National Gaming. Now, they're not huge on the share buybacks, but they were huge on acquisitions and pretty much just leveraging the entire company that they could just, we're going to get cheap debt. The economy is going to be roaring forever, apparently. So let's just buy, have no cash and reserves, and just assume everything's going to be A-okay. Guess what? Everything's not A-okay. And your fucking stock price went from $38 to a low of $3.75 in a matter of a month. And look, I've been buying Penn at the $9 range, and I bought some today at the $4.50 range. So it's not like I'm in this at like $31 and I'm super salty or anything like that. I'm just saying, there's so many companies out there that just blew their load on fucking buybacks. And now it's like, time for layoffs. Let's fuck all the lower level people because we still need the executives, right? No, fuck the executives. They're the ones who should be punished in this. And hey, if you followed some of my political rants, you know that I'm independent, and you know that, conservative, I'm conservative leaning in terms of financials, but you can tell on this situation, I am 100% progressive. Fuck share buybacks. Fuck them. They serve no purpose at all. Good people are going to lose their jobs because executives got too fucking selfish and they just try to drive up their price. It's a fucking joke. Now, if the employees get stocks, that's different. But hey, how many companies do that? 1 in every 5,000? And more than half the companies in the United States are private. There is no such thing as stock. You can't buy back private shares. Well, you can, but that's not the point. It's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. And nothing's going to happen, especially with Trump as president. Nothing's going to happen. He's just going to bail out the industries. And hey, maybe they'll scale back on bonuses. Ooh, but they'll keep all their shares and give it 2 or 3 years. They'll just take that bailout money and just repurchase shares just to drive the price back up. Company itself won't be recovering, but hey, the stock price is, and that's all the executives care about, right? It doesn't matter. Well, all right, that was the spicy part of today's podcast. It just fired me up. I went for a walk like 5 minutes before this, and I just stewed all this crap into my head, and I'm just like, man, I really do get upset about this stuff. It just aggravates me to my core. There's no reason that it should be happening. You could argue, let's ban short selling. I wouldn't be too opposed to banning short selling. It does provide a little bit of liquidation, but I wouldn't be too opposed to that. But man, if you have a petition for banning share buybacks, by all means, I will sign up. I will be the first to sign up. I will go. I will fight for that all day long. You are just screwing over so many innocent people just to make a few $1 million. And guess what? All these CEOs are old. They're going to die anyway. Shorter than, the people that are making the company run. So let me reiterate, I'm completely fine with high salaries for CEOs. But once you get stock options and compensation, that's when it gets ugly. Let's go over what I bought today. So today I bought, if you follow me on Twitter, you can see all my purchases at what price point and how much I bought. You can follow me at Twitter at DGenDividends, D-E-G-E-N dividends, no space or anything, just at DGenDividends. If you're following on YouTube, it's in the link below, in the description, I should say. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatever it is, there should be a little box description, and it should hopefully be in there. But anyway, today, like I said, I bought Penn at $4.50. It's just a flyer. I'm not buying. I told my my manager, who's also bought a little bit, I'll buy some more at the $3 range, and at that point, I'm just letting it go. I do not want to build up a big position. It's like under $500 anyway. I'm not talking here like I put like $10,000 in this thing. No, it's a really small position. I'm just gambling on gambling right now, gambling on the casino industry. All of them are getting screwed, and Penn, they're pretty much factoring in a bankruptcy, and I don't blame them. I saw articles where they talked about, days of liquidity that casinos have, and with the cash reserves that Penn has, it's at about 180, and it's really scary. Very much in doubt being priced in for bankruptcy. So I took a little stab. I'll take another stab if they drop to $3 or so. And then I'm out. I'm not going to sell. I'm just going to let it ride. Whatever happens, happens. If business goes as usual and casinos open again in like a month or two and they're able to fund and get their creditors off their back, hopefully this will be a lesson learned. They stop acquiring bullshit. I could easily see this thing going up to $15 to $20 a share. There's no reason that it can't. But anyway, I bought some Penn. I bought United Technologies really cheap today. It was down like 20%. I bought Home Depot. It was down over 10% when I bought it. I bought Thermo Fisher Scientific. This is one that I'm really excited to get in. It's finally at a little bit of a discount, not too much of a discount. And the reason that's not overly oversold is because they are going to be making a lot from government contracts developing these kits for the corona. So this is one that I'm really happy to get in, a little bit cheaper than what it was at its peak. At its peak, it was like $330. I bought it at like $290, I believe, today. I can look at what I did. And I also bought today some, I think I'm missing one, but I did buy VNQ, which is Vanguard's real estate ETF. So I'm really going heavy into real estate. That's the position that I really want to build up the most. Real estate, Home Depot, United Technologies, and if Thermo Fisher Scientific continues to drop, I will buy that as well. But those are the core positions that I'm really looking to buy heavy into over the next couple of weeks. And I got to be honest, I'm running low on cash. I really am, in terms of disposable cash to spend on stocks. I've been funding my wife and I's mutual high interest savings account. Obviously, it's not that high yielding anymore with the slashed rates, but I've been going aggressive into that, just building up a nest egg, because you never know if shit's going to hit the fan. I'm very fortunate that my wife and I have been, very adamant about building up a nest egg. And I can safely say, they say like you should have an emergency fund for like 3 to 6 months, ideally a year of expenses. Well, I'm happy to report that my wife and I have built up, if both of us were to lose our jobs, we have about 3.5 to 4 years of savings. So, ultimate doomsday worst case scenario, we're going to be safe for a little bit. I got to be honest, I'm the type of person where even though I am an accountant doing financial analyst work right now, I could honestly work in a factory or work at Taco Bell. And if I'm making money, I'm happy. I just have that kind of personality. I'm not one to like go for broke and I'm so entitled to make this kind of salary. I deserve to be the senior analyst at this position. Look at my credentials, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I just want to work. I just want to make money. And that's the end of it. Before I stupidly made my options plays with my big individual account, and before I took out $30K, the whole point of that portfolio was to retire early, because I like just doing nothing. I'm a simple person. I don't need to travel the world. I don't need to go on all these expensive excursions or anything. I am happy just sitting on my ass, going for walks occasionally, and watching sports. I'm a very simple person to please. My wife knows this and can vouch for me when I'm saying that. But that being said, if I have to work, I'm gonna work, and I don't complain about working at all. So that was episode 27 of the Spicy Dividend Podcast. It did get a little spicy today. We went up to habanero. Okay, I've gone to ghost pepper a couple times in prior episodes. We gone to habanero today. The past 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, were not even jalapeno. They were mild pepper all the way. But today we went a little habanero. We went a little spicy. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're listening on anywhere else, any podcast platform. You can reach out to me on Twitter at DGenDividends. Love to hear anyone's thoughts on today's episode. Hope everyone enjoy it. See you tomorrow.